Well, oh, OBS changed how it works, how it looks. I welcome you back. And actually today we have time for warm-up. And I was curious if I can take a look at something more about design, specifically big, small, medium. Like mostly about, especially if I can see something about backgrounds. The amount of creepiness that I see in the videos that are not pertinent to design is astounding, but I think I got the gist of it. I just not sure how to apply it very much here. Like what would be the big shape, what would be the small shape, and so on and so forth. Like I understand here that there's a lot of chaos and very little design, and it's bothering me because I feel like it doesn't read that well. Makes me think maybe like right now there's no way that I understand how I'm just simply not understanding how do I tell me that was brilliant. Piece about it. Okay, why does it not zoom? Tell you what. Just slap it behind and go back to the drawing page. Okay. So specifically about this design idea. Okay. This is the one. So basically, I have to arrange the houses. So he arranged the houses to look a certain way. There's a plank of wood divided in three main shapes. So I think that would work the same way in this specific instance. We could block it in three places. Like that's the one thing that I'm believing about. But also parts of the toilet how medium for arranging forms, but we can also the idea of the interior space of shapes. Okay, so the outer form. That's So that was like, go back to search. There was a good YouTube video about it. Let's see if we can color code it in some way that it's more relevant. And the other thing is, I want to somehow make it
Hey everyone, sending shapes design, it would be reasonably difficult to make something aesthetic in every way.
so he
Oh,
went
and actually, I
from,
just made that up, but it's not too legs into the shape hierarchy as well, in a couple different ways, and it will usually look better no matter what.
so big is blue, medium is yellow, and small is red. So let's try to put this to work. See if we can design it in some interesting manner. So we could like take, actually we should make it a little taller maybe. Like take a big blue, a little bit of yellow. The yellow, the medium arm should be like this. Maybe you can push the small one even less. That's one improvement that we can make, right? Then we decide to take the same approach for the texture. Okay. I have to say, I think that is actually looking a little better. Okay, and the second thing is going in the inside and putting the same ideas to work, right? So trying to do big, medium, small, say the shapes as well. Now I see that these stones are grouped almost as if they're set one on top of each other. So what I'm thinking is, there's going to be like maybe 3 major groups, and we should probably add some distinction layer between these two, just so it doesn't get lost that these are like bigger shapes, right? This will make some degree of separation. Now we could also, if we're gonna get to that green-blue distinction. Like this kind of color. So I'm thinking like if we take and make, let's take this piece, right? So that will be big shape. Then with yellow we can bring it down to smaller ones. Something of this sort of composition. That's what I'm looking about. Let's give it a try. And we're gonna break it down into 3 big pieces. And inside these 3 big pieces, we could add small areas of details. And this does look a little bit more fair, I think. Yeah. I think I'm a bit ignoring the reference, but whatever, not a big deal. References are there to serve, not vice versa. Okay, this to me reads a lot better than before. I'm gonna see. Oh, it's already a big. So that gets cut up, so I shouldn't care too much. Okay, I think that this is cooler, like a lot cooler. So big, medium, more, huh? That's interesting. Oh, now I started to understand that what is it about what makes things a little better, specifically about designing the shapes. That's cool. How about we merge this? I could even transfer it. Yeah, this looks cleaner, like by a lot. Now we could make a should, I don't know. Let's make a shape somewhere. Maybe about that's a good time to see how do I make my shapes or my frames balanced. So it can snap. So saying it can snap, but it's not really what I was picturing. I'm gonna have to do a little detour to see how can we make this symmetrical frame. How to make studio. Oh, so that's what this is about. We can make it taller. Make this. Like the first thing I can do is move it a little bit up. Like that's the easiest part. Wait, I do have the ruler though. I mean, it's not the most precise thing ever, right? And this snaps, so let's say they go 3 units on the right and 3 units on the left. Looks balanced with a little bit up. Though I feel like I'm complicating my life right now because I would need to keep this going downwards. that's life, you know. Now, in the sketch phase, let's see that they are up here. I guess I would do some kind of comp here, here, and then I have to picture it somehow. Let's start with where they sit. Or is it about, or it should be above? I think that it should be. I would want to watch. I want to replicate part of that. Yeah, I also forgot to add a little bit of mask and stuff like that. I think I still can. I don't believe it's over detailed so far. Okay, so like we want to tell a lot about how about we replicate the one that goes above, you know? Like let's say that shape over there. So we can go like this route. And we would want something of this sort so that it tells us that we are over there on top. And then we'd have to do the unthinkable and draw two people that are sitting. Oh, that's insane. Back to Pinterest, we'd want people sitting and people and also we'd want some background sitting on the floor. Yeah, Pinterest is a piece of crap because it won't let you copy the image straight up from where you put it, but mostly from Oh, you have to click it, so that's a pretty garbage thing to do. Okay, so let's take a hill picture to use. Okay, this is exactly what I was picturing. This might even be better. Okay. I don't know if I have the space for this. Maybe I should zoom in a little. Like take this bad boy, get a little bit bigger. So, and this way we can make some big row distinction, but I don't really like this picture had something cool that it gets the verticality of things. So this is a little bit better. They can use the road to get scale. It's very cool. Maybe I can use just like this one. Put the cloth over here. Then that would be like the background setting. And then we can make this road and put some houses in there. And maybe like a couple of trees. Okay, this checks in quite nicely. And even get the secondary tree so that we could put some more scale to it. I love how trees are basically vibes, nothing else. Yeah, so this works pretty neatly, I believe. I would need some more shit. Definitely need more. And also somehow I want to apply that design so pieces in the scene. Okay. Now the people sitting, that's the hardest part, right? By the way, it's sitting plus I used to have some designs lying around. What the fuck is this? Alright, the arachnic phase. The fuck is my other piece of designs? And this can be smaller because the other ones are. Same goes for Charlotte. Though it is mostly it looks like I can't change the picture really. So let's make them different about it. Pose 1, pose 2. And the food. Maybe they should be close. Mm-hmm. Son of a bitch. Getting people out, that's gonna be hard. Like, genuinely hard. Maybe that's my fault because it didn't shows like the actual pose. I'm trying to vibe it. Definitely know that he's small. You could want to occupy way more here. Let's start with his buttocks. So this is where the hip lays. Hips to hips, right? Then that would come a little bit higher. Torso. head. Now we can work on leg. Son of a bitch. Oh my lord. Looks better, I guess. This is not sort because it doesn't come to me, right? The camera. Oh fuck do you I need a reference for this. So yeah, I'm gonna do a small detour. For my GF because she's very interesting in the design, so I want to give her always something to chew about when she but she's always curious about this. Okay. Back to work. More like pain than work. How the fuck? Okay, this we have a reference of. All right. And this makes it look even better. I have to be honest. Okay, so people. Okay, this looks delicious. On the other hand, the other one has a problem that again it's not exactly in the place that I want it to be. I'm not there yet to turn the bodies. I rotate it. Range, align, normalize. I'm trying to flip my image. Alt Shift and drag the mouse if you want to flip it. Alt Shift. Okay. That looks very good to me. All right. I gotta say, feels like a roll for today. Feeling very, very good about it. The thing that I'm curious about now is if I drop my lines downwards, will they be turn blue or not? They turn blue, that's good, that's nice. Now that I look back, I see the problem with the colors that they chose. Hey, those fucking wobbly lines. So why are they so thick? And I left this in the sketching lines. God damn, looking back at my reference, they're garbage. Okay, let's try to put this pose to test. I've been doing a bunch of this for a while now, so it'd be very disappointing if the resulting mannequin is absolute dog water. That would be like extremely disappointing. Oh fuck, how big feet? How the fuck big? How big are feet? God damn it. How about the Loomis crap? I don't remember if I put his left or his right as. Well, the time for dodging the hands is over. We have to pull out the hands right in this fucking instance. Also, they're supposed to be eating, so maybe put the food somewhere. I will be nice with you. Ah, is this proportionated? Proportionated? Is this in proportion? I think I'm missing some part of that word. Son of a fucking bitch. This looks awfully non in proportion. Just need to understand why. So, what is going on here? Like specifically. The fuck is happening? I was procrastinating a little bit. Always put my procrastination mode. Every single time that I feel a little bit annoyed. Gotta say, at this moment, I feel like fucking. Like, this is fucking with me. No, when you practice, I think that the cool thing about the project is when you practice, knowing that it is practice and it's you can get yourself used to it being crap. But when you actually have to get something working, now suddenly it becomes a lot more stressful. And I know that I shouldn't be stressing. I'm a very competitive person, even like for my own, how should I say it? Even for my own objectives. So turn off that part of my brain that gasps every time that I see something, especially if I care about it. It was easy to not be like that in school. So I didn't really care about school. I think I was partially right, seeing how the situation is about the job. I think it's very depressing that being a specialist doesn't mean that much today anymore. You know, so in the school part, it's okay. I didn't care. It ended up mattering little in the end. Everything worked out itself. Here, on the other hand, like this is the first time that I'm actually going at it. Like this is real world, real circumstances. I have no idea how the crotch works. I know that there's some kind of muscle over here, but there's yet something. I think that this feels a little short. I'm gonna follow my instincts a little. So it's really messing with me. More than I imagined it would be. Because it's easier to not care. And it's also do things caring. That's a nice conundrum, I think. Like going back to find that playfulness of doing things like a child. That's pretty broken as a, like if you can apply it truly. It do be, I get to do that sometimes. It isn't often. But from time to time, I'm able to let go of these imaginary shackles. And actually perform is the incorrect word because I think it still binds you to objectives rather than enjoyment. It's probably why it ends things end up feeling heavier than they should be. I've talked about this with a friend of mine. And he was very judgmental of it because he was like, yeah, but there are people who you can't just not care or be very nosh or be very like you can't go from internal motivation and ignore the external world because that simply doesn't work. And I understand where he comes from, but it is very hard. One of those things that easy to advise, hard to put in practice. Doesn't make it less true. In my eye. So we swung back to 1 hour. Should be keeping up until I would want to be going for until another half an hour. But to be honest with you, I'm very tired for today's section, so I think I'm gonna let it rest and come back in like tomorrow, get 1 hour and a little bit more. Yeah, this was very nice. This was a lot of progress, I think. So I will see you tomorrow about same hour, about same thing.